As promised, we are having a show and tell about the clusters and geodes that you saw in the meanings video. If you haven't seen that yet, make sure to go back, watch clusters and geodes meanings so you can learn more about these stones and how to use them in your healing practice. My name is Sheila from Satin Crystals, and today we are taking a closer look at these stones so you can get a better appreciation for their use and the beauty of clusters and geodes. So some that you may see, I'll show you one here, is a amethyst geode. This is a slice of an amethyst geode. So you'll see that all of the points are growing inside, pointed towards the inside of this stone. This used to be a huge cavity, a hole or a hollow air bubble within a stone, and this is a slice of what you'll see. On the outside would just be this rocky, rough mineral. You can also see such clusters as this hematite cluster. It is full of microscopic, tiny little crystals that give it a rainbow glittery glow. We have it in this case because if you do hold it, the glitter will rub off on your hands. But it is a very interesting formation. Now let's take a closer look at all these other ones. We will start from one end and go to the other. A lot of these we have available at Satin Crystals. However, depending on when you are watching this, we probably have a whole different collection because clusters are so unique. They can't be replicated as easily as polished stones. So if you see something you like, make sure to add it to your collection as you probably won't see it for very long. Let's start our cluster and geode show and tell on this end of the display. In the front here, you have druzy quartz pendants. And as you can see, the little druzy quartz are tiny microscopic quartz crystals growing on a common base. Here in the back is polished flat. They've polished the whole thing into a bare shape, electroplated it in gold, and hung it on a bale for you to wear as a pendant. Another jewelry piece is the citrine geode ring. Now this particular citrine is a heated amethyst. So this used to be part of an amethyst geode. It was heated and it turned a citrine yellow color, and it is secured to an adjustable ring for a great statement piece. Here you have a smithsonite cluster. Nice, shiny, kind of pale green stones on a common base. Then there's a unique formation called a dogtooth cluster. So the little points here resemble dog's teeth, and that's why this is called a calcite or dogtooth calcite cluster. Another formation of calcite is the cubic formation, and this one here has some little pyrite inclusions. It can stand on its own as a unique formation as well. Then we have the amethyst geode heart. It has been polished from a geode, and it is left with its sparkling points on one end and its rocky matrix on the other. It can also stand sideways, it can be flat like a cluster to place other stones, and it's great to hold as well. Now let's go up here a little bit and we will see this other dogtooth calcite geode, which is still in its cave formation. So you'll see the stones are forming within the rocky matrix, And they do have that pointed dog tooth formation. And you can also see here where the matrix was cut that you'll see other brilliant calcite crystals pointing inwards. Here you have a amethyst geode. It is also in that cave-like formation. It used to be a bubble where it formed. A little pyrite cat is charging itself in there, and they have smoothed the edges and also the bottom so it can stand as a nice display. Back here you have a, let me get it out for you, double-sided quartz cluster, and it is next to this gigantic quartz cluster here, which is easy to place smaller stones on top so that you can charge them up easily. Let's go back down here and we will see another amethyst geode, but it has a dogtooth calcite inclusion sticking out from the amethyst, purple amethyst crystals. You will also find another heated citrine pendant on a chain, so a necklace. And here you have pink cobalt cluster, so little pink crystals growing on a rocky surface. These are clear quartz clusters. They form in all kinds of different formations, and they have been also electroplated so you can wear them as pendants. You can see all the different points at the top of the stone forming together. Here's another one here. Nice clarity, some inclusions, different size of points growing from that common base. Here you have a pyrite cluster, also as a pendant formation. You can see the little pyrite crystals all growing together, sparkling away, also known as fool's gold. And up here, another pyrite. Up here you have a quartz cluster. It has a few points here, and the rocky base has some kind of moss growing on it. The quartz itself also has a green tone to the crystals. These ones here are bladed clusters. So this is actually a black kyanite which has been coated so that it gives it that rainbow glow, but it has the original formation has that bladed look, little feathery look there. Let me bring another piece up to the front so you can get an idea of the formation. So this is titanium or rainbow kyanite. Another cluster formation is called Sputnik. And this is when all the little arms, as they call it, grow out from the center. This is an aragonite Sputnik. Another geode we have is the peridot geode. So all the little tiny green gemstones are called peridot. They are growing in the cavity of this rocky gray stone. We also have garnet, one of the more rare pink garnet clusters, all growing in a white rocky matrix. Pink garnets. A little cluster of amethyst, very popular stone, popularly found as a geode. This was probably a piece of geode at some point. Here is a small cluster of the cubed calcites. This is pretty fragile. A few pieces have already broken off of this cluster. So again, be careful when you are handling your stones. This one here has pockets of malachite and azurite, green malachite, blue azurite. And you will also find very clear, nice quartz points on this quartz cluster. Let's move over here a little. Again, another amethyst geode heart. You'll see bands of blue chalcedony on the bottom, and then your rocky base here. This cluster is called a rosette cluster. Some of the stones will form in this manner, where the crystals are kind of like leaves of a rose. This one is called desert rose. It's a form of gypsum, which selenite is also a form of. And then we move over here. And what do we find? We have another dog-tooth calcite with some glittering pyrite on the corner. And these tiny azurite clusters. Azurite is a brilliant blue stone. Comes in tiny little clusters like this. And let me show you this unique cluster. It is actually two-sided, where it has the green tourmaline growing within a white base. But on the other side, you'll see purple mica or lepidolite. So they've polished that flat. The green tourmaline is raw on the top. Move that aside and you will see the nice big piece of apophyllite, a zeolite. So it has stilbite. These pink crystals are stilbite. And it is part of the zeolite family, which is very popularly found in India. Behind this one is also another zeolite, and this one does have some apophyllite white cubes, and it has a stilbite as well. Down here we have the natural quartz formations, which are coated with titanium, so they do have that rainbow glow to them because of the coating, but otherwise they are naturally formed clusters. Those three there. Here we have hematite clusters, and you can see they're kind of like that bubbly formation. This is called a botryoidal cluster. You'll also find it in malachite, sometimes is in botryoidal formation. Let me show you the bracelet that I had on. It is malachite in this kind of cluster here. So you'll see that bubbly formation. That's how the crystals are growing. But that is the cluster there. This is on a bracelet. And we also have these hematite clusters attached to rings for those of you who want to wear another nice big statement ring. These are all lying on an amethyst geode, which kind of looks like a cluster because it used to be part of a geode, but now it's kind of flat. Here we have the amethyst, heated amethyst, which has turned into citrine. It turns yellow when you heat amethyst at a certain degree. And so these are citrine clusters or geodes. They were part of the geode. They range from pale to a deep burnt orange cluster, maybe golden. Another amethyst geode back here. And then we have the septarian egg. So you'll see on this side, it is smooth, brown and gray. And then on the inside, the geode glitters with all kinds of little crystals growing within. You'll see the calcite and the druzy quartz covering the inside of the stone. Now another cluster that you will not see very commonly is the Mochi marble cluster. So Mochi marbles are usually forming on their own as round or roundish pieces, but this one formed so that it is all one piece in one cluster. Very unique and a nice formation. Let's lift ourselves up a little bit over here. Again, we find a septarian with druzy quartz within. So they polished this septarian geode and they left it so you can see the inside of the stone is nice and glittery. So you can use it as a sphere if you put it all together, or open it up as a geode. Back there you have another amethyst geode with calcite crystals, and a little blue demortierite tumblestone is energizing itself in there right now. This one is a nice dark purple amethyst geode. This one you can see clearly what the outside of a geode may look like. I thank you for joining us on this show and tell. I hope you got a better look at all the clusters and geodes we have on display today. If you need to add to your collection, head over to Satin Crystals. We always are adding new clusters, geodes, jewelry, all kinds of unique stones for your collection. As always, I thank you for joining us, for liking this video so we know you're interested in close show and tell videos, and for your positive energy here at Satin Crystals.